Hello, my little weirdos. Yeah, I've been down on too many videos because, yeah, I got caught with that norovirus right after I started antibiotics for my sinus infection and chest and ear thing. So, I hit it after Christmas, though, right after Christmas. But I did do a video the other day about Canada, thanking them for all their help. I believe they've sent firefighters, but they're water bombers. Oh God, that if you haven't seen that video on YouTube, you should see it. I posted it on Facebook and into a couple of groups there. And one of the only reasons I really stay on Facebook is a lot of people my age aren't going to the blue sky and stuff. So, and no other place has groups. Think about that, conservative or progressives. Think about whoever can start. Whoever started Blue Sky, maybe start something with a pattern, like a setup, like Facebook, where you have groups and such. That would take off because a lot of us would love to leave Facebook. But anyway, the main thing I wanted to say here is I did thank Canada, but I was losing my voice, so I want to thank Mexico. They've sent, a lot. I think last I saw was 75 firefighters. Mind you, they have also, like I said in the one to thank you, Canada, they have also been threatened, insulted, and just been rude to by the tyrannical tangerine toddler. We're on the 15th, so we got 5 days. So, Mexico, thank you. Much like I said to Canada, thank you. There's also been states that have sent firefighters. And I'm sorry if I haven't mentioned you, but I do know Oregon has sent firefighters, I believe. I know Arizona has sent firefighters. Texas has sent firefighters. Maine has sent firefighters clear ass across the state, the country, the continent. And Maine, thank you. I don't remember all of them. The ones that I mentioned just now. There's a spider on my ceiling. The ones that I just mentioned are the ones that I just off the top of my head. But I know there were others. So if I hadn't mentioned your state, thank you. And let me know down in the comments here, right down there. Tell me if your state's helped or your country. Like I said, the countries that I know are the ones that border either our northern and our southern neighbors, who have been ridiculed, mocked, insulted, and threatened, not only with trade war, but with war to take their land. And I'm grateful that your governments comprehend that it's the people that are suffering, and you're not helping. Well, he's not in power yet, but you're not doing it to spite what he said. You're doing it despite, not in spite. Big difference between in spite and doing something despite that. Canada and Mexico, you know how to act mature, and you also know it's the people. And even after things happen in 5 days from now, when the Democrats don't have the White House. I venture to say, if you possibly can, you will help, especially the states that you deal with, that you have agreements with. And Canada has a lot of that with the Northeast, and I'm included in the Northeast. And along the western coast, California, Oregon, Washington, y'all have trade routes and stuff that aren't federal. They're just between the state and you, because it's the state's area you're needing to go through or past or whatever. So y'all are way more mature than our incoming administration. And I just want any Canadian and Mexican listeners, as in living in Canada, living in Mexico, to know that I have rarely said the T name. And instead, in 5 days, the only thing I will call him, if you insist I call him president, then I will be calling him President Rapist, because he has legally been convicted in what is equated in a civil case to rape, and the common understanding. I don't care if you want to use the phrase, with a finger, with a bottle, with your penis, okay? Penetration is penetration. Unwilling penetration is unwilling, and it doesn't matter. And most of us, especially us who have been sexually assaulted, we don't give a F what it is. You're inserting something in me that I do not want. That is rape. For all of y'all who don't comprehend, well, it was sexual assault, not rape. If you looked further, you would know criminal cases you can be imprisoned for. That means you have to have a lot more proof, because you're taking somebody's freedom from them. You have to have a lot more detailed criteria type of things. For a civil case, if you've been found liable on a civil case, that's like being found guilty in a just different words in a criminal case. That's just to denote, so you don't always have to say a criminal case, a civil case, so you have different terminology that pretty much mean the same thing. It's just this is for the civil cases, and this is for the ones that you can be imprisoned for or killed for, or made to go on death row and stuff. That's the only reason why there's different terminology in the very basic explanation. So those who say, well, he wasn't a criminal case, so it wasn't really rape. Yes, he is now a legally convicted felon and a legally convicted rapist. Because anybody that does any kind of sexual assault, is a sexual offender. And there are a lot of countries that don't allow, now that he has actually been convicted and the sentence has been given. Doesn't matter what the sentence is. So that has been done. I don't care if it's right before or not. Right before he gets sworn in to betray America again. And I just want to thank, like I said, go back and thank especially Canada and Mexico. Other states, grateful and incredible that you came running and are still. But you kind of expect your own country to try to help each other. Expecting other countries to help. I don't think most people expect. Like if you're in Italy, you would expect, if the South has a problem, that the whole country kind of helps, right? Same idea. Um, and the fact that the two countries that came and helped were the ones that have been targeted with his vitriolic, visceral revenge, talk that he's been spewing. So the only other name I will call him, and I have been calling him, is Tyrannical Tangerine Toddler, 3T. And if they don't like it, free speech. I'm not saying anything that's not true. He is a convicted rapist, and he is a convicted felon. So if I want to call him President Felon, I can do that too, because it's true. I don't care if it hurts his feeties. I don't care. You didn't care for 4 years when he was, none of you guys cared about the other side when he did have power. And the last 4 years when he legitimately lost, you've been spent butthurt, crying, whining, complaining, accusing, with nary a shred of evidence. Plenty of time, plenty of chances to show it. But yet you've spent 4 years gloating, 4 more years whining, pissing, moaning about something that was legitimate. And now you want to bring, oh, we should have peace. We should be working together. No. No. I will not work together with a felon or a rapist. Ever. Ever. Because, see, rapists and felons, criminals, they don't have anything in common with me other than they're a breathing human. And even that, I wonder. But there's nothing else that I have in common with sexual assaulters nor criminals, deliberate criminals. No, that isn't my world scope. That isn't my worldview. And I will not condone it by giving him respect, and for any of you calling a president rapist or tyrannical tangerine toddler isn't really respectful. Really? Neither is being a rapist. That's not respectful. Being a criminal isn't respectful either. All the people you hurt, and they're not victimless crimes, because the government, the banks, denied other people loans and gave him loans instead. They can't just give everybody that wants a loan. So you're lying and cheating your way and swindling your way to get a loan that you didn't deserve, while other people were being denied that had less stable appearing history background. So it wasn't victimless. Wasn't victimless. And even when it's like, well, it's just insurance fraud. It's victim, it's just the company. People work for that company. And when the company starts to lose too much money by, paying fraudulent claims, their people might not get raises, or might have to work more looking into your fraudulent claims, especially when you have more than one kind of thing. And the funny thing is, he complains now in the last, years, I don't have any time for all these court cases. I have to do this or that. You have no idea how much litigation before he ever ran for president that this man has done, how many times he was in court. He knows courts because he's been in litigation. He knows how they work, even if he would just always pay off after a certain amount of time, and stalling and things like that. He's just pretending he doesn't know. He's pretending he's never been charged. He has been charged. People and companies have taken him to court a plethora of times. And y'all are acting like, oh, this was the first time he's ever been dragged into court. Woo! All these times all at once. Well, maybe your little crimes have all caught up to you at one point, because we have a very good reason to start investigating you a little deeper. So maybe if you hadn't had such a braggadocious and bombastic attitude and behavior and mouth, constantly having to pat yourself on the back and insist on adoration, you're such an idiot. You're a rapist and you're a felon. And if anybody wants to give me any crap about that, free speech. Yeah, it's factual, so you can't sue me for giving your name a bad image, because you're convicted of both of them. So, President Rapist or the tyrannical tangerine toddler, which do you prefer? I refer to him as. And by the way, those are the only two choices. So, let me know what you guys said. And like I said, I'm giving him all due respect he deserves. He's lucky I capitalized the first letter of each word. That's his respect. I live 30 minutes from Bedminster alcohol-free golf course, resort, and cemetery. So, he's been fouling up my state, my birth state, for decades. And I have a right to say we want you off. But this is his last shot, if he makes the whole term. Peace out.